This is Trigmanism here, aka Gavin. So I recently just picked this up. I've been having some issues with it. This is my E39. It is a 2002. I've been having very slight issues with it. I finally got it all fixed. I've got these on just to show, you know, I switched my lights over to LEDs just recently, and I am in love with them. These are OEM like halogen, and all they are little bulbs. So this is my, let me turn this off, my 2002 525i rear wheel drive. They did not make X-Drive models for this year. They didn't start doing that until the E60s. Recently I've been seeing the Vista 540s with the M package, and then the M5s have been going up in value. These are still relatively cheap for what they are. Now, a big thing is, has not had a license plate put on the front bumper, but it does have all kinds of holes. I'm not that worried about it. It does have a couple cosmetic issues. The sun's not out right now, so you can't really see it. It's not swirled all over this hood. Yeah, you can't see it at all. It does have rock chips all over that you can see. There's a bit of rust right there. There's a bit of rust right there. It does have some rock chips. Clear coat's fading right there. There's a, I don't know, that's clear coat or failed buff job or something. It has surface rust right here. It needs a new BMW emblem here. It needs a new BMW emblem up on the hood. It is missing a rubber grommet for this screw up here. And it does have, I don't know where it was, a little bit of corrosion right here on the trunk lid. So I'm almost thinking about either getting a new trunk lid or sanding everything down and getting it repaired and repainted, because my stepmom's dad, he does repainting because he works at a body shop. There was another spot, but and this rocker down here that I can probably get treated. Hopefully if it's not too bad. You can see right there, it's kind of already going through. So I'll try to get that treated. And then over on the other side, there's some here, and there's some here. If I open this door up, you can see it's already going through the door. So I'll have to get that treated. But, and there are, you know, this is a scrape from them running into something. There's one. There's a bit here, and this paint transfer, so I don't know if I can buff it off or what. But and there's a little bit of rust right here. But all this is hopefully surface rust or something that can be treated. There is no gas cap rust, which is a very big thing for these cars. And the lock mechanism on this does not work. If I can demonstrate right now. See, as you see, that's supposed to shoot out, and it doesn't. And I'm not that worried about it. If someone wants to siphon gas from this car, go ahead. Good for them. Otherwise, I mean, this is a great car. I picked it up for like $3 grand. It's got 139,000, almost 140,000 miles. If I can turn the, okay, I guess I gotta turn the key on. The interior is, let's see, as you can see there, the gauge cluster lights did not work at all. These were the only lights down here that worked. One of the halos didn't work. One of the headlights didn't work. One of the brake lights didn't work. One of the taillights didn't work. Actually, both the taillights work because they're LEDs. One of the brake lights didn't work. One of the turn signals in the rear didn't work. One of the turn signals in the front didn't work. One of the turn signals on the fender didn't work. You get the gist. So basically, one bulb on all corners, all the corners of the car, did not work. So I had taken the car to my dad's to have him take a look at it after the thing almost caught on fire because they tried to fix the wiring underneath the glove box that he ended up fixing, and everything works now. He reinsulated all the wiring and all that, that good stuff. But while the car was there, I remember he had done some research. We had done some research before when I first took this car over there to try to figure out what the issue was, because he found out that it wasn't an LCM, because we got a used LCM, put it in the car, and it didn't work. He got a used GM, which is a general module for the car, because I guess all the lighting goes through that. And he put that in, and that still didn't work. So what was the next best thing he could do? Well, he found out there was a fuse panel underneath the passenger seat. Took the carpet up, looked at that fuse panel, and inevitably it was that. So, in other words, everything on the car, hold on, let me start this up. Everything on the car now works, lighting wise. As you can hear, I literally just started the car up. It runs perfectly fine. It doesn't have any suspension problems, doesn't have, the tires are, in fact, let me get out and show you. The tires are relatively brand new. I don't know, when they were replaced. Come on now. Tires are in good shape. They have really good tread. Oh, come on. Zoom in. Focus. So the tires have really good tread. They're like new. I'd say they're about 80%. Let me show you. That was the headlight that did not work. And now it works. They're both different temperature because, obviously one headlight's newer than the other. The driver's side headlight is the newer one. Or the driver's side, the driver's side is the newer one. Or the driver's side is the older one. The passenger side is the newer one. So, like I said, we had replaced all that. And like I said before, this never worked, so I literally was driving around like this all the time. And I was not a big fan of that. None of those little buttons worked on the climate control or lit up. So they finally started working, and these little buttons underneath the radio started, lit up. Obviously I have dead pixels there. I'm going to try to replace this with the head unit from like an 03. Because it's a direct bolt-on or direct swap, and I can do an auxiliary cord with that. None of the courtesy LEDs up here work. The lighting on the, home link didn't work. Lighting on you get to the point. And then none of these work either. I don't know if you see that one, it doesn't really light up for some reason. But I do have some plans for this car. They're not like massive modifications like I have for my Audi, which I could do an overview of my Audi if you guys want me to. But I literally just picked this thing up maybe like 2 months ago, and I've only driven it a handful of times. And I can say now, confidently, that this car I can take anywhere. It wouldn't really give me any issues. I gotta change the oil on it. I guess it does burn a little bit, which isn't a huge issue. I mean, it's a 16-year-old car, because this literally was made in 2002, and it was advertised as a 2002 model year, so it's a 16-year-old car. I wouldn't expect it to be 100% perfect, but for a car of this year to have this good of you know, or this many working pixels in this gauge cluster, which there is a line missing like next to the 1, I believe, on either side, or I think on the left hand side next to the 1, and then obviously right there at that G. But aside from that, I mean, this instrument cluster is literally almost perfect. The radio does have dead pixels. I'm trying to source one on eBay from a 2003 so I can just get an auxiliary kit or auxiliary and put it in, because BMW offered an OEM aux cord plug, but again, that's, you know, down the road. And as you can tell, this thing does not have window tint. It is a fishbowl, 100%. I am going to eventually get that fixed. The sunroof is the only thing that does have window tint, but it's not very dark. This thing is extremely hot when I get in it. If it sits all day, even if it sits for about 3 or 4 hours at work before I go to lunch, it is still really, really hot. So, let me turn that down so it's not blowing up on the mic. So no, anyways, I'm gonna get this car 100% fixed. The seats do twist. I don't know, you can't really pick it up on camera. That seat is not 100% straight at all. You might be able to pick it up outside better. Let me see if I can get it out here. Hoping nobody. This location I'm at right now, I had a guy stop and literally follow me all the way home from here, which I live like 2 miles away from here, 3 miles away from here. Literally followed me all the way home, just asked me what I was doing because I was trying to get a picture taken over here, and he showed up last second. So yeah, see, you can see the driver's side seat. It's already starting to twist. Passenger side is starting to twist as well. And what happens is the driver's seat and the passenger seat are both starting to twist. And what happens with that is let me zoom out. The seat will still move back and forth, but the cables get stuck on one side. So the one side, like say, instead of it moving flat like this, it moves to where instead of uniform, like this side, say where my palm meets my hand or my arm, that just stays and it just goes like this instead of sweeping around completely. So I've got to get that fixed, and I think my dad and I are here within like a month or so, because it's not a huge issue now that the seat works. And another big issue is this. Somebody had broke this off, and I don't know if I can get it put on. And one of the buttons was ripped off or something. Somehow, I don't know why they did what they did, but yeah, my BMW is finally fixed. I'm finally able to drive this thing back around, around town. Oh, there's another dead pixel on that 9. But I'm finally able to drive this thing around town. So, hopefully now I can start getting better gas mileage than with my Audi. But I guess only time will tell, and we'll be able to see. I got an app now that I can calculate my fuel economy in real time. Well, not really real time, but, actuality, instead of going off of this computer. So, hopefully I can start getting better gas mileage. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, peace.